Today, we are going to be talking about my 3 biggest mistakes while building my home gym. The number 1 mistake I made was going too big. I know for a lot of us, we get into something new, we get excited, we want to go all out, go big or go home, bigger is better, but that is not always the case when it comes to home gym because most of the time, space is your biggest constraint. So I don't know how easy it is to tell here, but I only have a single car garage allocated for my gym. Now this is a bit of an extended single car. I think it's 20 by 16, something like that. But ultimately, it's definitely not enough space for gym rats like myself. But the first big purchase I made was this Rogue RM6 that you see behind me. Now, when I first got it, I set it up just like the traditional RM6, like any other person would. And I noticed that not only is the RM6 itself very large, but I also got the 43-inch depth, which was a mistake. If I needed an RM6, I should have went 30 inches. Should have listened to my buddy, Brandon Campbell, but I always learned the hard way. But ultimately, I didn't need something like this at all. I needed to realize that my powerlifting days are behind me. And this thing, now that I've got it set up the way that you can see today, where I essentially took it, made an RM4 with a custom cable machine to the side, it takes up almost 1/3 of my gym. And it's just unnecessary. Now, with all that being said, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this piece of equipment. I've always wanted a big piece of Rogue equipment, American-made steel. I love it. It works great for what I need it for, but I could have gotten a half rack for my purposes, saved so much space, shifted everything up this way, and allowed myself for further growth, which we'll talk about later in the video. But having this big monstrosity right here takes up a lot of valuable floor space. The second big mistake that I made was buying without actually knowing what I truly wanted. When I first started building the gym, I was very impatient. So I started buying everything I wanted to fill out the space as quickly as I could. And what that resulted in was me not always getting what I actually wanted. So if you've been on the channel for a while, you remember the first set of dumbbells I got were the Rep Hex dumbbells because that's the first thing I saw on the website for the most affordable price. It was COVID, it was available. So I pulled the trigger and I bought them. And I only had them for like a month before realizing I don't even like Hex dumbbells. This really isn't what I wanted at all. I didn't put too much thought behind it. So after a few months, I decided to sell them, which thank goodness it was the right time and I was able to sell them easily to get what I actually wanted. So as you can see over here, I ended up upgrading to what I actually wanted, which is the Rep urethane dumbbells. And I was very fortunate that I happened to be in a seller's market because if I tried to do that same thing today and sell those Hex, I would have taken a big lost money, wasted time. Just the unpackaging process is kind of a pain, and that takes time away from me actually being able to train, which is what I'm trying to avoid. So I wish I would have taken more time to really think about what I actually wanted to get. Buy once, cry once. And I will leave all of this stuff linked down below if anybody wants to check out exactly what I ended up purchasing, but I'll contrast the dumbbell decision with my bench decision. So for this, I really thought it through. I knew I only wanted to have one bench for my entire gym. So what I ended up doing was finding this Rep Zero Gap adjustable bench. And what I love about this thing is I can make this an adjustable bench without having to worry about that annoying gap right there. So I can use this for a flat and an adjustable for a very, very affordable price. So had I used that same critical thinking for all my purchases, I think I'd be in a much better spot today. The third mistake I made while building out this home gym was not planning for growth. I built this thing from inch to inch. I filled it up as quickly as I possibly could, not considering that my family could grow, that my goals could change, that maybe my priorities or the way that I want to train could develop over time. And I didn't really leave myself enough room to make many adjustments. Or if I wanted to build a little kids weight room somewhere in this vicinity, I'm a little bit constrained right now. So little Griffin Banks, would you like a little bit more space? Yeah. as you're building your home gym, you are going to make mistakes. It is inevitable. All the people you watch online, I know you see their final product now, but they've probably been through 2, 3, 4, 5 iterations of home gyms themselves to really try to figure it out. And there's no perfect solution. Everyone is going to be different. I would just encourage you to ask as many questions as possible, be patient, and do as much research as you can to make the best possible decision for you in the moment. But if you like more videos like this, let me know in the comments down below. Really appreciate you being here, and I look forward to talking to y'all next week. Griffin, would you have appreciated your own area in the gym?